We are in Ayodhya Kand, chapter number 92. Bharadwaja has looked at the sincerity of Bharatha and he reveals the location of Lord Rama's ashrama in Chitrakuta and how Bharata and his vast retinue can get there. Verse 14. Prayanam iti cha shrutva raja rajasya yoshita hitva yanani yana arha brahmanam paryavarayan. When Bharata was ready for the march, the ladies of Dasaratha got down from their palanquins and surrounded Bharadwaja, the knower of the supreme absolute truth. Verse 15. Vepamana krisha dina sahadevya sumitraya Kaushalya tatra jagraha karabhyan charanau mune. Kaushalya and Sumitra laid themselves at the feet of the radiant sage. He noticed that they were worn and emaciated with grief at being separated from their beloved Rama and shook with age and awe at finding themselves in the presence of the holy sage. Verses 16 and 17. Asamridhena kamena sarva lokasya garhita Kaikeyi tasya jagraha charanau savya patrapa tam pradakshinam agamya bhagavantam mahamunim adurad bharatasya eva tastau dina manah tada. Then Kaikeyi bowed down with grief at being the cause of infinite woe and misery to Rama, and through him to all the world. Her heart hopes frustrated, an object of universal scorn and contempt, made a hurried salutation to the Maharishi and sheltered herself behind Bharata, all ashamed to stand in the holy presence like others. So in these two verses, Valmiki reiterates how remorseful Kaikeyi is of her actions. And we can know this through the various adjectives that Valmiki uses. The first thing that he says is asamridhena kamena. All her desires are unfulfilled. The second description is sarva lokasya garhita. Garhita means despised. Sarva lokasya means throughout the entire world. So Kaikeyi was despised by everyone except Lord Rama. The third description that Valmiki gives is she is extremely bashful. The term that Valmiki uses is savya patrapa. Hurriedly, she clasps the feet of sage Bharadwaja. And after that, she does not really want to continue to stay in his presence because she knows how magnificent sage Bharadwaja is. Hence, Kaikeyi knows that sage Bharadwaja knows her part in all of this. And she is so ashamed that she, after taking a pradakshina or a clockwise circumambulation of the sage, runs behind Bharata and hides herself behind him. And the last description that is used over here is dina mana, or distressed at heart. Completely distressed. All her hopes are thwarted. She lost her sons, Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata and Shatrugna, as well as her husband. She lost the respect of the people. She lost the respect and love of her co-wives. And most importantly, her own son, for whom she did everything, did not appreciate her action. And rightfully so, because it was completely adharmic. And so she was a blot to the Raghuvamsha dynasty, and she is now feeling very remorseful. Bharata was able to accomplish something that sage Vashishta could not do, Siddhartha could not do, Sumitra could not do, and King Dasaratha could not do. And that is make Kaikeyi feel remorseful. When Bharata rebukes her, she understands that what she did was wrong. Previously, after King Dasaratha's funeral, when the guards grasp Manthara and bring her in the presence of Shatrugna, and Shatrugna is extremely furious, Kaikeyi is the one who takes the shelter of Bharata and requests him to intercede. And Bharata tells Shatrugna not to harm Kaikeyi or Manthara. And right now, once again, she takes the shelter of Bharat. Because even though Bharata has rebuked Kaikeyi in the past, she knows that he will be kind enough to protect her. There are multiple scriptural references that give you the meaning of taking the shelter of a pure devotee. For example, in Bhagavad Gita 9:32, in the purport, it is said, everyone is eligible for the supreme destination. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 2:418, it is said that even the lowest, who are called the Chandalas or the dog eaters, can be purified by association with a pure devotee. Therefore, devotional service and the guidance of a pure devotee are so strong that there is no discrimination between the lower and the higher classes of men. Anyone can take to it. The most simple man taking shelter of the pure devotee can be purified by proper guidance. In the purport of Bhagavad Gita 13:26, it is mentioned, if one is fortunate enough to take shelter of a pure devotee, hear from him about self-realization and follow in his footsteps, one will be gradually elevated to the position of a pure devotee. In Srimad Bhagavatam 1:115, it is mentioned, anyone therefore who takes shelter of the lotus feet of a pure devotee by accepting the pure devotee as a spiritual master can be at once purified. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2:418, it is mentioned, the only qualification is that one takes shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord who has thorough knowledge in the transcendental science of Krishna. In Srimad Bhagavatam 4:22-22, it is mentioned, one should take shelter of a pure devotee who has nothing to do with this material world but is simply engaged in devotional service. By serving him only, one can transcend the qualitative material condition. In this verse, it is recommended Yogeshvara Upasanaya that one serve the lotus feet of the topmost yogi or the devotee. To serve the topmost devotee means to hear from him about the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To hear the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from the mouth of a pure devotee is to acquire a pious life. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22:54, it is mentioned, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastre Kaya, Lava Matra Sadhu Sange, Sarva Siddhi Haya. It is a fact that if one takes shelter of a pure devotee, one attains all perfection even if the association is a short one. A sadhu is a pure devotee of the Lord. Now let us come back to Kaikeyi's actions in Ayodhya Kand. Kaikeyi is now very remorseful and she has now taken the shelter of Bharata so that she can be forgiven for all the mistakes that she has committed. And we will see later on that Bharadwaja himself will say that there is another purpose as to why Rama went to the forest, but we will get to that in a short while. Verse 18. Tatah prapachya bharatam bharadvajo dridhavrata vishesham jnatum ichhami matranam tava raghava. Though he was aware of everything that took place, Bharadwaja wanted to teach a lesson to Kaikeyi and asked Prince Bharata to point out to him the wives of King Dasaratha. Verse 19. Evam ukta tu bharato bharadvajena dharmika uvacha pranjalir bhutva vakyam vachana kovida. Bharata grasped the purpose of the sage who desired the world to know the nature and character of the queens through the mouth of their son. Ever loyal to truth, he turned towards his host with clasped hands and said, verses 20 and 21. Yamimam bhagavan deenam shokan ashana karshitam piturhi mahishim devim devatam iva pashyashi eshatam purusha vyaghram simha vikranta gaminam Kaushalya shushuve ramam dataram aditir yatha. Holy Sir, this lady who, though lean with fasts and grief, gives one the idea of the God of Dharma come down on earth, is Kaushalya, the first and foremost of the wives of my father. She is the thrice happy mother of that ideal man, Lord Rama, with the lordly gait of a maddened tiger, even as Mother Aditi gave birth to Lord Trivikrama or Lord Vamana. Verses 22 and 23. Asya Vama Bhujam Shlishta Ya Esha Tishtati Durmana Karnikarasya Shakha Iva Shirna Pushpa Vana Antare Etasya Tau Sutau Deva Kumaro Deva Varninau Ubhau Lakshmana Shatrugnau Virau Satya Parakramau. The other lady who supports her on her right and has been the playground of many a sorrow is Sumitra, the second of my father's wives. There she stands like a stately Karnikara tree when the summer heat had drained its flowers of all life and brightness. Lakshmana and Shatrughna are her sons, handsome as the two Ashwins and heroes of unfailing prowess. Verses 24, 25 and 26. Yasya krite nara vyaghra jivanasham ito gato rajaputra vihina cha swargam dashrato gata krodhanam akrita pranjam driktam shubhagamaninim Aishwarya Kamam Kaikeyi Anaryam Arya Rupinim Mama Eta Mataram Vidhi Nrishamsam Papa Nishchayam Yato Moolam Hi Pashyami Vyasanam Mahad Atmana. And this woman by my side is the infamous Kaikeyi. She drove Rama and Lakshmana to the forests of Dandaka, haunted by the Rakshasas, and exposed them to danger and death. It is she that foully slew Dasaratha with a keen, poignant grief at having lost his beloved son. Liable to sudden outbursts of insensate fury, her heart and intellect have not been purified by the study of the sacred scriptures, or by association with the virtuous. Of boundless pride and self-conceit, she sees not in the whole world anyone that approaches her in beauty and loveliness. She hides the heart of a demon of wickedness under the face of an angel of perfection. Ever wedded to the lust of wealth and power, her soul knows no pity nor shrinks from the darkest crime. She is the fountain and source of all my misery. I sum up every evil and sin I perpetrated in all my past lives when I call her my mother. So Bharata's words for Kaikeyi are very strong and very harsh indeed. Let's look at all the various ways in which he describes Kaikeyi. The first one is that he says that it is through Kaikeyi that the Naravyagras, the two tigers among men, that is Rama and Lakshmana, went off into the forest and have a miserable existence, that is Jivanashanam. The second way in which he describes Kaikeyi is that she murdered her own husband by separating Dasaratha from Lord Rama. And then he calls her as Kridhanam, the one who is extremely irate, the one who is Krita Pranjam, the one who is very imprudent, the one who is Driptan, who is very arrogant, and the one who considers herself to be good looking, that is Shubhaga Manini. So Kaikeyi is indeed very beautiful. That's why she was the favorite wife of King Dasaratha. She was extremely beautiful, very soft and pleasant words and all that. However, Bharata is not seeing that beauty. He is talking about the internal beauty. How can a person be beautiful if he or she has shunned Rama away? This is impossible. Therefore, Bharata says that although she considers herself to be very good looking, she is not so. She is covetous of power, of Aishwarya. So Aishwarya Kamam. And he calls her as Anaryam, Arya Rupini. She looks very noble. She looks very pious. But she is Anaryam. She is not an Arya woman. She is not a noble woman. So thus Bharata uses some very strong words to describe Mother Kaikeyi. Verse 27. Iti uktva narashardulo bashpa gadgadaya gira sa nishishvasa tamra aksho krudho naga iva asakrit. Blinding tears choked his speech. Fire flashed from his eyes, and he sighed hot and fiercely like an infuriated serpent.